Whipple Family Misadventures Book 12 How Went From Something Missing to Family. Wade had a massive to-do list for the weekend, and just thinking about it made him feel tired. He had mostly gotten this being a single-parent thing down, but that was when everything was calm and he had time to get stuff done. After the craziness of Shadow disappearing, being kidnapped and dealing with the aftermath, he had let several things go around the house. Now it was the weekend and there was a sink full of dishes and laundry and other general cleaning, and the grass needed to be mowed and bills needed to be paid, and the weight of it all just made him want to stay in bed. But as a single parent, he didn't have that luxury. The only good thing he could think of was that at least his boys weren't extremely young kids and could at least give him a hand. But first, coffee and a lot of it. He probably should have done bit by bit during the week, but there was so many other things that needed to be done after work and he just kept putting it off. And now it was the weekend and it was staring him dead in the face.
Dad, do you think I'm stronger than you?
Shadow asked when he shuffled out, sitting at the table, although it didn't look like he was eating anything. Wade blinked twice and then continued into the kitchen to turn on the coffee maker, aware that the black hedgehog was following him.
I don't know,
Want to find out. Sonic told me about something called arm wrestling.
No.
Wade said immediately. The truth was he already suspected Shadow might actually be stronger, and was not eager to try and open that can of worms in the slightest bit. Besides the blow to his ego about potentially having an 11-year-old who didn't even come up to his hip being stronger than him, he didn't want to deal with any ideas they might get from learning that. The darker hedgehog frowned.
Why not?
Having been awake for less than 10 minutes and hadn't had coffee yet, Wade was so unprepared for this debate.
Because while you're doing better with controlling your strength, I don't want to risk someone getting hurt. Did you have breakfast?
No.
Then get something to eat.
Wade told him and went back to staring at the coffee maker until it was finally ready, and took a large gulp before he started making himself toast. He briefly considered cooking something better, but he was too tired to do anything else. Once done, he took it and the coffee to the table. Shadow spent a few minutes getting himself a bowl of oatmeal and brought it to the table as well, crawling up onto his seat.
Can I see if I can pick you up?
Wade nearly choked on his toast.
Wait, what?
I want to know if I'm strong enough to do it.
Behind them, there were soft footsteps and Silver came up to the table.
Strong enough to do what?
Pick up, Dad.
Silver's eyes became wide.
I think I can do that. With my psychokinesis. I know because I picked up a car once, so.
No one is picking me up. Go get your breakfast, Silver.
Shadow gave him a long stare.
Why not?
Because
Wade said, taking another gulp of coffee first.
even if you are strong enough to do so, you're not big enough to support my entire mass. Also, if you are not strong enough, you probably hurt either me or yourself or both. And I really don't want to explain to hospital personnel about how my alien son, who's the size of a 2-year-old, dropped me.
But maybe.
Wade sighed.
Please just eat your breakfast.
Although he would have to admit at least he was glad Shadow had the foresight to ask instead of just trying it out. He got a huff in response, but Shadow went back to eating.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Wade said, not quite truthfully.
Just feeling a little overwhelmed. I'll be okay.
He reminded himself that even if he was in a crappy mood, he didn't need to offload it onto them. It was quiet, at least for a few minutes, before Silver spoke up.
Do you think we can redo our room?
Wade slowly put his cup of coffee down.
Redo your room how?
He hadn't been expecting that, but now that he was thinking about it, it did kind of make sense that they would ask. All they had in there was their bunk bed, an older dresser, and some buckets for their Legos. It wasn't barren, but it also wasn't really a great kid's room either.
Like painting it.
And add more furniture. Like a bookcase for our comics and maybe beanbag chairs.
Wade did want to encourage both of them to read more. Lessons on that were going slowly, but he wanted to frame it as a good thing. So far comics were helping, even though neither were fully reading the comics yet.
That's possible. What color would we be painting?
Yellow, or green, or both.
No, I don't want a yellow or green room.
Well, I don't want a black room.
I never said that I wanted black, but since you mentioned it.
Okay, you two.
Wade said. sensing where that was going and decided to head it off before an argument could get started.
If we're gonna paint it, you both have to agree on what color it would be.
Can we do it today?
Not today. We've got way too much other stuff that needs to get done.
Wade said, finishing his coffee. There was a knock at the door and Wade got up to go see who it was, leaving the boys at the table to keep debating. A hurried-looking delivery person was standing there, looking like they wanted to bolt.
Wade Whipple.
Yes.
They thrust a massive and quite heavy manila envelope toward him.
Sign here.
They said and disappeared back to their truck to take off once he did. Shutting the door, Wade squinted at the envelope, wondering what on earth this could be. It couldn't be something for work. That would have gone to the police station and he hadn't ordered anything in a while. Suddenly realizing what it could be, he nearly ripped the envelope trying to open the tab. Inside were two large separate stacks of paper. Wade's heart started to race as he took the first sheet out and looked at it. Back in early March before his birthday, after making the decision with the boys to adopt them, he had started the process for it and had been waiting to hear back ever since. It had been helpful to get some information from Tom, who was going through the exact same thing with Sonic, just further along in the process. It was pretty simple. Maddie and Tom wanted Sonic to be theirs and Wade wanted Shadow and Silver to be his kids, not just in name but legally. So if the government ever got wind of them and came over to check on things, they could say the boys were their legal children. The hopes were to fill the paperwork and get the process taken care of and done, everything done legally like it would be for any human child being adopted but just a bit more under the radar. To make it happen, Wade talked to the same judge that Tom had spoken to several months ago and explained that there were two more, and that he wanted legal custody of both of them. She was a bit concerned about more alien kids turning up and had expressed that the more there were, the harder it would be to keep them all concealed, but agreed to help him. And now, close to 9 weeks later, here was all the paperwork that he needed to file for adoption. The title page, proclaiming a petition of adoption through the state of Montana. ×2 since he was adopting both of them. Wade had no idea when the mountain of paperwork would come, but it finally did. And maybe this is what they needed, their little family unit. After a selfish alien tried to snatch Shadow away, and how Silver's abandonment issues had returned full swing because of it. Maybe this would help. Taking out some of the other forms, it was a lot that would need to be done. Background check, forms about taxes, proof of employment, proof of residency. Both boys would need a birth certificate and a million other forms that needed to be filled out. Looking at all of it, it didn't feel overwhelming like most other things in his life did. It just felt exciting. Because while the word dad had been used every day for the past few months and even minutes ago, this made it more real. Not just a term to be thrown around casually but official and legal. Wade might never have been able to leave the hospital room holding a newborn, yelling about how he had just become a dad, but holding that heavy envelope full of papers at that moment gave him the exact same feeling.
What's that?
Shadow suddenly asked, breaking him out of his stupor.
Oh, something really good. I didn't think it would come today, but I think you guys will like it.
That got their attention and fast. Both of them slid out of their chairs and came toward him.
What is it?
Remember a few months ago when I talked about adoption? Well, I talked to a few people about it and have been waiting to hear back ever since. And this is what they sent me.
Wade said, sitting down on the couch and started making neat little piles of papers. Both boys joined him on the couch, peering down at the forms.
Papers.
Yeah, I have to fill all of this out and send them the stuff they want to know. That I have a job and a house and that I'm a legal citizen. And then give them the information about you too. And then send it all in and probably have to redo certain parts just because. And then once all that is done, there will probably be a home visit by a social worker who will check out our situation and make sure it's acceptable. And then we'll go see a judge who signs off on it and it's done.
That's it.
Those two words made Wade want to laugh.
Yeah, but I gave you guys the simple version. There's a lot that goes into this. It will take a while, several months, and a lot of work for it to be done.
Shadow was studying one piece of paper like he was trying to decipher the legal terms that were listed on it.
If it's so much work, then why bother?
Because it matters to me. I want you two to be my legal sons. Not just something we say casually around the house, but really and truly, even if it is a lot of work, it's worth it.
Right away, he knew that was the right thing to say. As Silver scooted closer to him and wrapped both arms around his middle and squeezed as tight as he could. After dropping an affectionate kiss on top of the hedgehog's quills, Wade reached for another piece of paper.
Speaking of legal sons, it also means we're going to have to sort out your legal names soon.
We already have names.
On Earth, most people have 3 names. A first one, a middle name, and a last name. You both already have a first name, and Whipple will obviously be your last name. But that still leaves middle names.
Shadow thought about that for a moment.
What's your middle name?
It's James.
Wade said without thinking about it, putting one of the papers away and picking up another one. Silver immediately started to giggle. Confused by that reaction, Wade looked up.
What?
I was just...
Silver continued to laugh, covering his mouth and snorting. Whatever it was, he could barely get the words out.
Imagine if your middle name also started with a W, like William. Then your whole name could have been made of W.
Next to him, Shadow grinned.
No. It should have been Wilfred. No, Winifred.
Or...
Silver was laughing so hard he fell backwards onto the couch, kicking his feet in the air.
Or.
He started wheezing.
Breathe, child.
Wade gave a good-natured eye roll.
You both are hilarious. Thankfully, my mother had better naming sense than the 2 of you.
When Silver kept giggling, he turned and started putting the papers back inside their envelope so he wouldn't lose any.
Keep laughing, because I'm the one who's deciding both of your guys' middle names.
He said with a teasing smile. That got the gray hedgehog's attention, who stopped and sat up.
You are.
Yeah, it's usually your parents who get the honor of naming you.
What are you going to pick?
Wade shrugged with one shoulder, as he hadn't put much thought into it.
I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, I know. For Shadow, his middle name should be Fluffbutt.
Actually,
Wade said, scooping Silver up and tickling him until he squealed loudly and let him escape into the air.
I was thinking of saving that one for you, goofball.
Shadow only shrugged, not seeming to be too bothered.
If mine is going to be Fluffbutt, then yours is going to be Stinky.
He picked up a pen that had fallen onto the floor and then changed the subject.
Are we ever going to meet your mom?
Wade paused in the middle of tucking the papers back in.
You guys want to meet my mom?
Silver dropped back down to the floor next to his brother.
Yeah, isn't she our grandma or something?
Yes, technically.
You don't want us to.
No, it's not that.
Wade said, trying to think of the best way to explain it.
She just has memory problems, and she might not understand about the 2 of you being aliens. Or she might not remember you guys next week, which makes things a little bit difficult.
That's okay. I know what it's like to have memory problems.
How do you know if you have memory problems if you can't remember?
He only got a long blank stare in response. That made Wade realize that he hadn't gone to see her in a while and instantly felt horrible. It wasn't like she had a lot of other family members to come visit and he had been neglecting her. He made a mental note to go as soon as he could. Besides that, Mother's Day was coming up and he needed to do something for that as well. And keeping them away from her like that was just an excuse.
Alright, if you guys want to meet her, I'll make it happen.
That made Silver grin, his little tail wagging.
Because she's part of our family too, right?
Wade smiled, pleased by how he said our family.
That's right.
He said, reaching over to ruffle his ears.
She is. Maybe soon we can go visit her or have her come over here.
He glanced around swiftly.
After cleaning.
Both boys also looked around as if they were seeing it for the first time.
Do you think we can work on the flower beds today? You promised, remember?
We can,
Wade said, standing up.
but first we gotta get some stuff done inside first. Both of you go get the sheets off your beds and your towels and put them in the washer, and then get on with your chores while I load the dishwasher. After that, we can head outside and do stuff out there.
He watched as the 2 of them scampered off and glanced down at the envelope again, standing up to put it on his desk for later. It was almost funny how one packet changed his entire mood and made everything else seem less stressful. Maybe it wouldn't be such an overwhelming day after all.